You saw the original sign. It says, "I write A+ papers." Just right off the bat, you're a professor. What's your concern here?
Well, the first thing is that what the whole idea of hiring somebody to write a paper for you, whether you're in high school, college, graduate school, or whatever, is cheating. And every school has an honor code or an academic discipline code which prohibits cheating. So what he's selling you is a service to cheat. If you're a student or somebody else who's doing whatever it is you're doing, this is to cheat. So my first reaction is that's a huge risk. That's a huge risk for any student. Because if you're caught cheating, whether it's high school, college, graduate school, or whatever, that becomes part of your permanent academic record. You could be subject to expulsion because of it. You could lose the credit for the class. And as being part of your permanent record, it's going to follow you to any job that you ever try to apply to. It will show up that you were a cheater, that you were subject to academic discipline. Now, when you get to the idea that he's going to write A+ papers, or somebody can buy an A+ paper, that's quite a representation. I'm not sure he can guarantee every subject that he's writing a paper in, he's going to get that you can get an A+. I don't think he can say, or anybody can say, that they're even going to get a C. They're not in the class. They're not subject to what is being taught and what it is that people are trying to accomplish. So any kind of representation or guarantee there is going to be suspect to begin with. But I think it's the risk on the other side for the student that you have to be careful of. Look, every school subscribes to the software that checks for plagiarism. Every school, a college for sure, subscribes to the software that catches whether or not the paper has been submitted for another class somewhere else before. So unless this person is writing truly unique papers for a unique class, for an individual student, such that there's nothing in this paper that comes from anywhere else, it's going to be caught. And when it's caught, the student is in deep, deep trouble because it's cheating, it's plagiarism. I'll give you an example, because I teach in the law school. If one of our students plagiarizes a paper, or is caught cheating, or submitting a paper that they didn't write, that goes to the academic discipline people, which is the faculty of the school. They will make a determination, which can include not only being dropped from the class, receiving an F from the class, but being suspended or expelled from school. That goes into their permanent record. That permanent record, at the time they apply for admission to the Florida bar, gets to the Florida bar. And the Florida bar does a character and fitness review. And if they see a student who has been has a record of cheating, plagiarism, or some such violation, that's going to make it very difficult for that student to get into the Florida bar after spending all this time and effort and money to go to law school. Why risk it? I don't care if it's a lawyer, a doctor, engineer, architect, whoever it is that's trying to get some kind of professional license, teacher, some professional license. That is going to follow them, and there will be some explaining to do, and maybe the explaining isn't even enough to allow them to get that license or certificate to practice. So there's a lot of these people out there advertising will do the work for you. The will do the work for you is dangerous. Does that mean you might be able to slip by? Yes. But is it worth the risk? It's the content that he's advertising, that he's going to write the content of the paper, or his team of writers is going to write the content of the paper. So if his idea of editing is to write the content of the paper, then that's cheating. People get writing assistance from lots of different people because writing is an art and it's very difficult to do. And for students, it can be really hard to do. because so many students are not used to writing. They're used to texting and twittering and emailing, and that's not writing. So it's hard, and I understand that. If he is actually providing editing service, I think you can get it other places where you don't have to pay for it. You can get it from the school. You can get it from your teachers or the professors you're working with to help you go through and learn how to do this the right way. His website saying he'll write it, and then in person he says he's not going to write it, that's bait, deceptive advertising to bring somebody in where you're going to end up writing the paper and he's going to do the editing. You can get the editing done for free. You don't need to pay for it. And then he goes further on the website to say, and by the way, you can't sue me. I'm limited in the liability. You can't sue me if something goes wrong. This is the classic kind of scam. The only thing that makes it different than years and years ago is that it's got a website and a video.